All right, let's get into it. Today, we are cracking the feline code. From those midnight zoomies to their deep obsession with cardboard boxes, we're going to decode the mysterious, hilarious, and sometimes, let's be honest, bizarre behaviors of our cats. So if you've ever looked at your cat and just thought, what is going on in that furry little head? Well, you are in exactly the right place.
I mean, it's the ultimate question for any of us cat people, isn't it? We give them the food, the shelter, endless cuddles, and what do we get in return? A constant stream of just puzzling behaviors. But what if those puzzles actually have answers? Let's find out.
Okay, first up, the 3 a.m. zoomies. Oh, you know the sound. That thundering of paws that makes it sound like your tiny cat has suddenly qualified for an Olympic sprint right through your living room. It might seem totally random, but believe it or not, it has a name and a reason, and we're gonna get to it.
Or how about this one? The 1,000-yard stare into a perfectly blank wall. Are they seeing ghosts, hearing tiny sounds we can't? It's a little bit creepy, right? And it's just another piece of this whole puzzle.
And of course, we have to talk about the illogical, unshakable love for boxes. I mean, you buy them this plush new bed, and what do they choose? The cardboard box it came in, every single time. Okay, let's just dive right in and find out what is really going on here.
So, first things first, let's talk about love. Cats often get this reputation for being aloof, but they actually have a super complex love language. We just need to learn how to translate it. And the keys? Well, it all comes down to comfort, trust, and scent.
All right, let's start with a classic, the biscuit making. That rhythmic, almost hypnotic push and pull with their paws on your lap? It feels kind of like a spa day for them, but this behavior is actually deeply rooted in their past.
So kneading is a behavior straight out of kittenhood. It's what they did to get milk flowing from their mother, and that feeling of comfort, it just sticks with them forever. So as adults, when they do it on you, it's a sign of pure contentment and safety. They're either soothing themselves or they're showing you that they feel completely secure with you. And, get this, they're also marking you with scent glands in their paws, so you should take it as the ultimate compliment. You're basically their safe space.
Okay, next up is another really common sign of affection, the head bump. That purposeful little boop they give you with their head or their cheek? It's actually way more significant than just a simple hello.
Yeah, this is officially called bunting, and it's a super important social behavior. See, cats have these pheromone glands all over their faces, so when they bunt, they're literally depositing their own unique scent on you. These pheromones, they're like complex chemical signals, and they powerfully mark you as safe, familiar, and yeah, a cherished member of their inner circle. It's basically their way of saying, I love you, and you belong to me.
So we know they can be incredibly loving, but let's not forget, they are also tiny domesticated predators. If you peel back just one layer, you'll find that a lot of their strangest habits are just echoes from their wild ancestors.
Which brings us to the whole if I fits, I sits phenomenon. Boxes, sinks, laundry baskets. If it's a tight squeeze, they are in there. So what is the obsession with cramming themselves into these tiny little spaces? Well, this comes down to pure survival instinct. Think about it. In the wild, sleeping out in the open is a really dangerous thing to do. An enclosed box, on the other hand, acts like a secure den. It's like a fortress where they can't be ambushed. It's a huge stress reliever for them. And it kind of reveals their dual nature, right? A box is both a safe place to hide from predators and the perfect spot to ambush prey. Like your ankles.
And now for those sudden, frantic bursts of energy. Yeah, the 3 a.m. wall-bouncing sessions we talked about earlier. There's actually a technical term for this. Frenetic random activity periods, or FRAPs.
So what triggers the zoomies? Well, a lot of the time, it's just pent-up energy from napping all day. I mean, that energy has to go somewhere. It's also tied to their crepuscular nature, which just means their wild ancestors were most active at dawn and dusk. So that late-night sprint is basically their inner hunter clocking in for a shift. And the simple solution? You guessed it, more interactive playtime during the day to help them burn off some of that wild energy.
Okay, so now that we get the why behind some of their instincts, let's learn how to read their mood in the moment. Because when it comes to cat communication, it is all about body language.
A happy, confident cat is actually pretty easy to spot. You're going to look for a relaxed body, a tail held high, maybe with a little curve at the tip like a question mark, and their ears are pointed forward. But the ultimate sign? The slow blink. Yeah, behaviorists actually call these kitty kisses. It's their way of showing you they trust you completely. So next time they do it, try blinking slowly back at them.
On the flip side,
A worried cat tries to make itself smaller. You'll notice a crouched posture, a tucked tail, and their ears might swivel sideways, kind of like little radar dishes, just taking in every sound. Their pupils will often get really big, taking in more light. This is a super clear signal that they feel vulnerable and they just need you to give them some space. And these are the signals you absolutely have to respect. A frightened, angry cat will try to look bigger. You'll see the classic arched back, the hair standing on end, ears flattened, and maybe even hissing. These are not suggestions. They are very clear warnings. The message is, back off right now. And the only correct response is to give them their space immediately.
Now look, most of these behaviors are totally normal quirks, but sometimes a sudden change in behavior can be a huge red flag. So let's look at a few common issues and what they might mean.
Okay, this is probably the #1 complaint from cat owners: litter box problems. If your cat suddenly stops using the box, don't just assume it's a behavioral thing. Start with this little checklist. First, is the box spotless? Cats are meticulously clean. Next, check the location. Is it private but still easy to get to? Then count your boxes. The golden rule is 1 per cat plus 1 extra. If you've checked all these boxes and the problem is still happening, it's time for a vet visit to rule out a medical issue like a UTI.
It's also really important to know the difference between normal urination and spraying. The posture tells you everything you need to know. Squatting is all about relief, just emptying the bladder. But standing up with a quivering tail to mark a vertical surface like a wall, that's spraying. And it's not about relief, it's about communication. They're either marking their territory or they're signaling that they are under a lot of stress. Another behavior you really want to watch out for is chewing on strange non-food items. If your cat is obsessed with eating plastic or fabric or other things that are definitely not food, this could be a condition called pica. It can be caused by anything from boredom to some serious nutritional deficiencies, so a trip to the vet is absolutely in order.
And this really brings us to the single most important takeaway of this whole thing. As veterinarian Dr. Joyce Logan puts it, if their behaviors change suddenly, it could be a sign of a medical problem. You are the expert on your cat's normal quirks. So a sudden change from that baseline, that's your cue that it's time to get some professional advice. So, we've decoded kneading, bunting, zoomies, and a whole lot more. You're now way better equipped to translate their language of love, respect their inner wildcat, and read their warning signs. But, as any of us with a cat knows, the moment you think you have them all figured out, they'll invent an entirely new mystery just to keep you on your toes. And isn't that fascinating puzzle exactly why we're so captivated by them in the first place?